NBC5, Chicago. Now, live from the NBC Tower.
Good evening, I'm Carol Marine.
And I'm Allison Rosati. Ron Majors is on assignment.
Police in suburban Schaumburg tonight are questioning a potential suspect, they say, in the weekend abduction and sexual abuse of a 17-year-old girl. It happened at the Woodfield Mall.
I have a 17-year-old young lady who is incredibly articulate and was able to remember things.
I remember so vividly. I put my key in the lock of the car. I saw a shadow come up behind me to the left. He grabbed me, put a knife to my throat. His car was parked not even 5 feet from mine, and he threw me in his car, took my hands, bound my hands behind my back, and he put Band-Aids and sunglasses over my face, and it happened so fast.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a Channel 7 exclusive. For the first time, the 17-year-old girl who was kidnapped from the Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg is going public with her story. She wants to keep this man behind bars for good. He is 47-year-old Robert Coppa, a convicted child killer who's now accused in the Woodfield attack.
Angela is certainly a remarkable young woman, a woman who, while still recovering from a brutal abduction and assault, has decided that the role of victim does not suit her.
Now 28, not only is Angela talking about it, she's on a crusade. After her attacker, Robert Coppa, was locked up, Angela founded an organization called PAVE, promoting awareness, victim empowerment. Her efforts are gaining national attention. What's it like when, you start this and then Time Magazine contacts you?
It's unbelievably empowering.
She travels all over the country, lobbying for tougher laws against violent offenders, and she tries to encourage victims to come forward. Until that moment when she was kidnapped, Angela lived a picture-perfect life. She comes from a close-knit Italian family. Growing up, Angela was into dance and drama. She was homecoming queen. But her world was shattered that day when she was snatched from the mall parking lot.
He makes all of his victims dress up. He made me wear an evening gown, and it fit me like a glove, which to me is really one of the other most traumatic parts of it.
After the assault, Coppa did something unexpected. He drove Angela back to the mall.
What her attacker didn't know was that when he let Angela go hours later, he had turned a 17-year-old college freshman-to-be into a victims' rights crusader.
Don't get me wrong, but I don't want girls to be afraid. I want everybody to come forward, and if there has been any other victims, I want them to come forward too.
The first time I ever came forward on the news with my story, I made a plea for other women to come forward. I said, I know that I'm not the only person he's done this to. And 4 other girls came forward within the 6-month span that he had been out and got me.
Coppa has 2 sexual assault convictions on his record, and in February of 1995, he was released from prison after serving just 12 years of a 30-year sentence for the 1980 abduction and murder of 15-year-old Julie Angel. Today, 2 of Angela's newest friends are Julie's sister Laura and her mother Joyce.
She seems so calm on the surface when all these thoughts must be running through her head. To be able to come forward and do all this with us, to make sure he never gets out, takes a tremendous amount of courage.
This is the most inspiring part of this whole story. I got together with all of his previous victims, including the family of the girl that he had murdered back in 1980. We felt so helpless, but we needed to do something, so we started this petition drive. And people that I didn't even know were standing outside of grocery stores getting signatures on these petitions. It was something that the whole community really rallied around, and we wound up getting legislation passed in Illinois.
Angela and her family asked us not to use her last name, so we're just calling her Angela. They were here a little while ago meeting with Senator Phillips. They have 5,000 petitions just like this one asking for changes in state law. They want mandatory life sentences for repeat sex offenders. Armed with a box full of petitions, 17-year-old Angela of Bloomingdale and her parents took their plea for tougher sentencing for sex offenders to the state level this morning. They met with Senate Majority Leader James Page Phillips, asking that Illinois make sex offenders non-parolable.
Angela, he's on parole for murder. And any hurt that I'd experienced through the assault was immediately replaced by vigilance and anger.
And it was that vigilance that helped put Coppa behind bars for life and gave Angela the drive to speak out against sex offenders. Cara Smith, who is a policy director at the Illinois Attorney General's office, says Angela played a key role in getting that law passed.
Angela is an outstanding advocate, an amazing woman who's the silver lining to the tragedy that she endured was that Illinois now has its Sexually Violent Persons Commitment Act.
It's extremely underreported, and most people, when they think of sexual assault, they think of my case with the stranger assault, the weapon, but overwhelmingly it's somebody that we know and trust. And when it's somebody, either, you know, a family member or a date or acquaintance that perpetrates these crimes, it's even more under the radar. It's the most underreported crime in the U.S.
All along the journey, all these people would stop me and say, Angela, thank you for your voice, because this happened to me or my sister or my friend or my brother. And I was so amazed at how widespread sexual assault was, but it's so silent.
As an outspoken survivor of sexual assault, I think it's very important for people to see, you know, a person taking a stand who has been affected, and to realize that it's a community issue. That is something that everybody needs to be involved around, men and women. You know, for the guys, it's your sisters, it's your mothers, it's our brothers that are being affected by this. So it really is an issue that all of us can come together to shatter the silence of sexual violence.
PAVE has a survivor justice campaign. What we did is we planned a national protest. Got some photos in 40 cities across the country, from Albany, New York to Beverly Hills, California. We did this in 3 business days. It was incredible. It was covered by CNN, Today, and Time. And it was a tremendous success, and it was all in regards to one judge who was trying to silence a rape victim in the courtroom.
Sexual assault cases often boil down to he said, she said. But what do you do when a judge restricts what can be said in the courtroom? It's happened in Nebraska in a trial where a judge banned a woman from using the word rape. She refused, and the judge declared a mistrial. Now it's unclear when this case will go to trial again. NBC's Kevin Tibbles has more.
At rallies in several cities, women taped over their mouths in protest.
We will not tolerate the silencing of rape victims.
And that's Angela's mission, to make sure crimes across the country are being thoroughly investigated and that victims are being treated with respect.
I really do feel like this is why I was put on this earth.